Hey everyone, it's Ryder from Skip. It's Tuesday, October 5th. Important video today. EIDL updates. I'll be answering 6 common misconceptions about EIDL loans and increases, plus updates on the massive social policy package that was the $3.5 trillion. The price is coming down and it looks like an agreement may be close. I'll talk about the latest there and the $1 trillion infrastructure bill, and I'll give my prediction on what might happen there this week. Also, there's a new EIDL document available. I'll talk about what that means for you wherever you are in the EIDL process. Thanks for tuning in, hitting the like button. It really helps show this video to more people on YouTube, so hit the like button and consider subscribing if you're new, turning on alerts. I'll keep it short. Be sure to watch until the end. Yesterday, I posted our exclusive interview with Veronica at the SBA. She's a senior policy advisor. I asked her a dozen questions, all the questions you've been submitting here. If you haven't watched that video, I'll link to it above and at the end of this video. It covers so many of your EIDL questions. And today, I want to give a quick summary of the 6 common misconceptions, some of these things we learned about on the call with Veronica, some of the things we've heard from many of you for a long time, so I want to quickly go over this before I get to the important news in Congress. So misconception number 1, EIDL funds can be used to expand your business. Now this is subtle, but I want to read it here. According to the SBA FAQs, EIDL funds cannot be used to expand a business. They're mainly to be used to help your current business flourish and sustain itself. Working capital, payroll, and business debt are all expenses that EIDL funds can be used for. EIDL loans are not intended to expand your business, such as opening up a new location. That's the classic easy example. If you're looking to purchase new real estate, open a second location, or expand your business in other ways, there are other SBA options. That's where the 7A and 504 loans come in, or other private funding options. We've linked to these in the post. By the way, this post I will leave in the description. Misconception number 2, EIDL funds can be used to buy or start another business. This is false. EIDL funds cannot be used to start or purchase another business. Many of you have been asking about this. If you can get a loan to then purchase another business, that's not the intent. You can read more about that here. Misconception number 3, you can pay stipends or bonuses with EIDL funds. Payroll is an eligible EIDL expense, but the FAQs make it clear that bonuses and stipends are not eligible expenses. Regular salaries, wages, overtime, sick pay, vacation are. However, paying bonuses, let's say to shareholders, are not eligible. Number 4, personal assets will be used as collateral for EIDL 2.0. This is false. Personal assets will not be used as collateral. Veronica verified this on the call I had with her last Friday. She said your personal assets will not be used. The SBA wants to know what you have, but they will not take a lien on your personal assets. Myth number 5, you must wait to apply for EIDL loan increases of over $500K. False, you do not need to wait to apply. Veronica mentioned this a couple times. It can only help to apply now. Of course, be thorough, weigh the pros and cons, make sure you're filling out things correctly. But according to her, it can help. You'll get in the queue earlier. So this Friday, when loan increases over $500K start to be approved, they will only start on Friday, but don't expect a flood of applications on Friday. That's when the SBA loan officers will start reviewing. The SBA anticipates a wait time of around a month for increases over $500K. That's a month from when you applied. The 6th misconception, you can request an EIDL increase at any time. Okay, this is very important. Not every business can apply for an EIDL loan increase right away. 3 common reasons, I'll just reiterate here. Number 1, you may not qualify for more money. You can use our calculator, eidl2.com, to log in, see our calculator. You put in your 2019 revenue minus your 2019 COGS, cost of goods sold, times 2 gives you your total eligible amount, minus any EIDL funding you've received already. If you don't qualify for more, then you can't request an increase. Number 2, if you have an EIDL loan in progress right now, whether it's being reviewed initially or for reconsideration, you won't see a button to apply for an increase. If those 2 don't apply and you believe you should be able to request an EIDL increase, you can email COVID EIDL increase request at sba.gov. So those are the 6 common misconceptions. If you want one-on-one funding help, EIDL funding help, we opened up a couple more spots today. Every day when I announce it, we get booked up right away, but if you are interested, we have spots, I believe Thursday and Friday this week that we've just opened up. You can click the link right in the description to book that and to book a time to talk with someone on our team. Okay, COVID EIDL subordination submission process. I just want to bring this up because the SBA posted this yesterday. This is basically for the increased requests of over 500K. So here's what it is. Explained below is the process for requesting a subordination of a lien on collateral that was pledged to secure an SBA COVID-19 economic injury disaster loan. There's a few different steps, but this would be the case where you have a primary lien holder on, let's say, your business real estate. Normally, the SBA would take precedence. They take the primary lien, but in this case, you may request that they are not the primary lien holder, they're secondary or tertiary, so it would fall after, let's say, your primary mortgage lender or something like that. So you can read this. This may only be relevant for folks who have business real estate who will be using that as collateral for these EIDL increases over 500K, and you don't want the SBA to be the primary lien holder. So it gives instructions here and where to send this information to, either the Birmingham Disaster Loan Servicing Center or the El Paso Disaster Loan Servicing Center. And they have phone numbers to call here as well. Okay, before I talk about the bills, stocks rise today. There was a big sell-off yesterday. Of course, Facebook was down for several hours, not only Facebook, but all its entities, WhatsApp, Instagram. So Facebook stock went down, a lot of other tech stocks, but they're up today, which is a good sign. Now let me switch gears to the social safety net bill. So here it is from the Washington Post. Democrats in a flurry of private talks today are beginning to narrow their differences on the size of President Biden's sweeping safety net bill, as liberals signal sizable concessions on the size of what could be the most far-reaching social legislation in years. You think about this for a minute, it really comes down to Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin as the holdout moderate Democrats that are basically forcing these negotiations to happen. In a virtual meeting with about a dozen liberal Democrats on Monday, Biden suggested a range of $1.9 trillion to $2.2 trillion, according to people with knowledge of the private discussion, significantly lower than the initial $3.5 trillion plan. There were some counter amounts, but here's an important point. It's unclear whether Democratic centrists, like I just mentioned, Joe Manchin, Kyrsten Sinema, would agree to a figure in this range. Let's say $2 trillion. It's still a lot of money. Biden has been in frequent contact with them in recent days and has suggested he knows what they would accept. So again, so many of these conversations back and forth. Those two senators know what's at stake, the negotiation that's at stake. Now, here is why this is important. We expected an infrastructure vote last Thursday. Nancy Pelosi said, we're going to vote on it today. We're ready. It was pushed until Friday. It didn't happen on Friday either, basically because of progressive Democrat holdouts who said they would not vote on infrastructure. They were staying firm there. They would not support the infrastructure bill until an agreement was reached on the social policy package. So it's an interesting move because, of course, they know it's much stronger tying those two together, basically saying all or nothing. It's likely that if infrastructure was passed, that $1 trillion, the momentum behind all of this may die, and that social policy budget reconciliation may also die. So those progressive Democrats are holding firm and saying, we want both at the same time, period. Pelosi thought she had everyone aligned for a vote, but that didn't happen. So as soon as there is some figure agreement reached, let's say it's $2 trillion. Again, we may have holdouts on the Democratic side that want the $3.5 trillion or nothing, but let's say $2 trillion is agreed upon this week. Hopefully, the infrastructure bill will go for a vote first, and then there will be a decision on the social policy package. I know many of you have strong opinions, either supporting one of these, both of these, or none of these. Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear what you're thinking about that. Again, if you want funding help, EIDL funding help for your small business, click the link at the top of the description. There's a few spots left. Most importantly, stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you tomorrow.